Come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes. Good morning, Foxes. How the devil are you today? Did you make that travel up to the Toon where we were soundly beaten? How's your weekend been so far? Well, you know what day it is. It's Sunday. It's 10 a.m. It's time for the original Sunday morning football show with the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, run by us fans in here for you fans out there. And you know what? Your opinion really matters. So get them comments in. Let's get going. It's kickoff time. Come on, you Foxes!
The Leicester City machine is on the march again!
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Foxes Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Good morning, lads and lasses. I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Have you come down from yesterday's performance? I'm back in Alcudia now. It's a bit warmer than it is back in the UK. Let's get a few comments in from everyone. Morning, Derek. How are you? Yes, Matthew, back to reality. Morning, Mark. Good day, sport. How the devil are you? Rudy says the first 10 minutes was just... Oh, where are we? Sorry. The first 10 minutes, we looked okay. After that, we were shambles. Yes, we went a little bit toe-to-toe with them, didn't we, the first 10, 15 minutes, and then Newcastle just dominated. Mark says, hope yesterday was just a bad day at the office. Yes, we looked good until they scored. I don't quite think we looked good until they scored. I think maybe the first 10 minutes we were okay. I wouldn't say fantastic, but okay. Morning, Nick. How are you? Morning, Jane. How are you? Tim, how are you? What a wake-up call. Yes, what a wake-up call. Well, let's have a wake-up call that I had to give Reedy this morning because he was travelling to early hours of the morning. Morning, Reedy. How are you, pal?
Tired. Ready to moan about yesterday's game, I guess.
Ready to moan about yesterday's game. I think a Chelsea fan here, you can have KDH back. I wouldn't mind KDH, but would he fit in the squad? But that's a question for another show. I have sent a link out to a few Newcastle fans I know. Whether they come on and have a bit of a gloat, I will not. I don't know. I hope they don't come on, but I hope they do as well. Morning, Mads. How are you? Nick Moore says, losing Mads changed the game for me. Back four aren't used to Ward. You know what? I'm not the biggest fan of Ward, but you can't blame him for any of them goals, I don't think. Reedy's going to have a slightly different opinion on that. I'm surprised a lot of the fans haven't blamed Ward for the first goal, to be honest, even though he wasn't even on the pitch. But them first three goals, the second three goals, so that's wrong. The three goals in the second half, let's get that right. 3 goals in the second half. You can't blame Ward for any of them, but we'll start at the very beginning, really. The team selection. Morning, Simon, how are you? The team selection. What do you think to it? Is that all we had? Could we have done anything better?
We were strapped for options, I will say that. The midfield was definitely not the midfield we've been seeing in the last 2 games. We really missed Sumari. We really missed Ndidi. And like you said before the show, a few weeks ago, none of them would have even made the squad. So it's mental, the difference in quality we've seen in them 2 midfielders. Chowdhury starting, I was apprehensive about, but after the game, he just isn't anywhere near the level we need. Skip, I don't think he put a foot in anywhere. And then for me, I think when you look at that team lineup and you don't see Buonanotte in that team, you think, what is Rude thinking? He obviously did it for a reason. He obviously put McAteer on one wing and Mavididi on the other, which I guess for winger-wise, you want both of them playing, but quality-wise, I don't think the quality is there in McAteer, to be totally honest. So I probably would have changed to put Buonanotte in there instead of McAteer, but other than that, we basically had the same team other than a few forced changes. So it's hard, and it's a lesson learned, because looking at it, I think where we lost the game yesterday was definitely midfield, and that just showed with the two midfielders we had to put in.
Sorry, that was my phone going off. Sorry about that. Like you say, Chowdhury, I think we were down to, like you say, the last few things we could have picked. We couldn't pick anybody else, really, could we? Unless we put that Henry Cartwright in that's never played a game. We don't really know about him. FaZe could have played. We could have played him at right back. You don't know. You could have played him at then Cody at holding midfielder, like we saw towards the end of the game. But I think that horse had bolted before it was 3-0, wasn't it? 4-0 down when we changed the play. I think we were lacking in options. And I think it was Aggie earlier that said, I can't find the comment now. Aggie says, we've just not got a strong enough squad. We haven't got a squad. Strong. I'm trying to find it is. Players are not clearly good enough, which I don't think we are. Phil's been saying this as well, and he's got shouted down for it. We haven't got a squad big enough and good enough for the Champions League. I was going to say, wow, for the Premier League, maybe for the Championship, but not for the Premier League. That's for certain.
I would disagree. I would honestly say that we have got the quality, but I think yesterday, again, the game would be massively different if we had Ndidi and Sumari in there. I think we'll just strap for options. We had to put who we had spare in there. And I'm not putting it all down to Chowdhury or Skip. I'm just saying that defensively we were poor. And you've got to think, for instance, when Mads is in goal, and this is not me slating on Ward, but when Mads in goal, the defence feels way more solid and confident in defending wise, in my opinion. And when Ndidi and Sumari are in front of them defenders, they obviously feel more confident as well. So that alone, when you've got a back line who's got someone behind him who's confident and in front of them who's confident, the defences have to do as much as what they had to do yesterday. So it's hard. Newcastle basically just bypassed on my field, and that's where the defenders basically just got absolutely trampled on. So it's hard, but I look at this game thinking it's not a game that if we had to win or had to get a point out of to stay up, in my opinion. And if you ask me, would you take 4 points out of Newcastle, Brighton, and West Ham? You'd snap your hand off. So realistically, it was just the way we lost it yesterday. That was the issue.
Well, I'm going to put the link out. I'm sure. I don't know how this is going to work this morning. Let's see what people's reaction. There's a link here, and you can come and have your say for a few minutes. There's the link on there. Just click that and see. I want to get some new faces on, some new fans on to see their views. People that went to the game, went to see Reedy on TV when he looked really fed up and pissed off with things. Craig Hendry says, acres of open space on the right every week and still not addressing it. Yes, we have. I've got some pictures of the goals yesterday that I'm going to show in. Nick, I'll bring you on in a second. And it's the same week in, week out. Here's the fourth goal, which not clinched it, but sealed our fate completely. When they broke away, Reedy, look at the bloke on the top of the park. Christensen is nowhere near him. There's like Craig said, Mr. Six Sitter says, there's too much space on there. And as we go through, look at the amount of space. That's like under 6, under 7s footballing. There's 3 Leicester players around that ball, and they're leaving too much space. And it's always down either the left-hand side or the right-hand side of the park, depending which way. But Christensen was at fault then. And then when the goal comes in, it's hit hard and low. And this is where me and Reedy have a bit of an argument before we came on. He said Madge would 100% save that. It's hard and low. It's the keeper's worst because he spreads himself. The keeper spreads himself like that. Hold on a minute. Let's get this right. He spreads himself like that. His legs, you can't see my legs, but my legs are spread. You don't want to see my legs open this early in the morning. He spreads himself like that. Hard and low is the worst thing for a player. And that's what he did. He had time to pick his spot. But going back to Craig's point, we leave too much space open. Do we need to change the formation? Let's just bring Nick in. Hold on, Nick. Did you hear that, pal, about the space and time that the players have?
I did, mate. And there's so much reaction, as there always is on the groups and stuff after yesterday. We've got 4 points from a possible 9. Now, if we would have said that a couple of weeks ago, everybody would have snapped their hands off. Give Rude the bloody window, for God's sake. We are bare thin in the squad. 18-year-old Cartwright on the bench. We've got no Ndid there. We've got no Sumaro. We've got no Winks, no Fatawu, no Ricardo. There's your core there. It's gone.
Hold on, Nick. I just want to answer this. Pete, at the very beginning of the show, I did give Newcastle credit from 80 minutes of the game. They bossed it. I did say that right at the very beginning. We sort of went with them for about the first 10, and then with Newcastle bossed it. So yes, I have given them credit. I'm just moaning how bad we were. That's all, Pete. So I have given them credit.
But you've got to, like Nick said, you've got to see we lost two of our midfielders who have been absolutely outstanding in the last couple of games. To instead of losing the game against Brighton and West Ham, which we could have, they're the ones that basically gave us the chance to go and win the game. So we lost them again. It's a game that you were never expecting to go and beat, or even maybe even draw. But it was the way we did it was the issue. But like you said about that last goal, it could have been more. But in my opinion, and this is not me again slating on Ward, but because we know how good Mads Hermansen is, I think he could have got to one or two of them. If I'm totally.
St James's Park is a tough place to get a result at the best of times, let alone under those situations we're in at the minute.
So here's one for you. A lot of this hasn't changed. I said this yesterday. If this had been Cooper, he'd have been absolutely ripped to shreds. Absolutely. It'd have been and his arse kicked completely. 74 shots we've conceded in 3 Ruud van Nistelrooy games. 74.
Yeah, but Jamie, it's the same players though, mate. This is what I'm trying to point out. It's the same players. Give the window to get them in. Do you honestly think, realistically, Ruud van Nistelrooy will choose a Wout Faes, a Vestergaard, a Coder? No, there's not a lot of pace in those 3, is there?
But surely, Nick.
Give him time.
Surely, Nick, surely he should have come in and looked, let's get that defence sorted
yeah,
first.
But he can look, but he's only got the tools he's got available at the minute. You can't expect miracles when you've got crap to work with.
Jamie, you can't, if I'm totally honest, yes, we aren't great, but
yeah, we aren't great.
You can't expect us to have 10 shots on us in 3 games.
What I'm trying to say is, surely we should have worked at the defence first.
Well, I think we have done in the last couple of games. I don't think. Yes, we can have shots, but as long as they don't have them on target, or we block what they do have on target, there can't be that much. There isn't that much of an issue, in my opinion. You can have 30 shots. If only one of them goes in, and we score 3 like we did at West Ham, we'll take that. What I'm saying is, we looked so much more defensively solid in the last 2 games. It's just against Newcastle, we had to replace the keeper, which again maybe dropped the confidence of the back line because they know how good Mads is behind them. And then in front of them, they've got 2 players who have been outstanding in the last couple of games and now are missing. Like if I heard a stat before that Chowdhury and Skip together made 1 tackle. Indeed, he makes 10 of them alone in 1 game. Like that was the difference.
Well,
there's a lot of pace in that Newcastle lineup as well yesterday.
There's pace. We've got pace. Mavidivi. What did Mavidivi do yesterday? Everyone, even I wanted him starting yesterday. I think he's proved his point that he doesn't deserve to start. I don't think
he doesn't deserve to start. He doesn't deserve to start.
That's the difference. It was a hard place to go to. Again, if you were against Wolves, I'd still start him because you need that quality over him.
Hard place to go to.
I think the Kovacic should have been given the start.
Hard place to go to. We've won 5 out of the last 7 games there.
Well, yeah, that was literally when we had.
You just said hard place to go to.
It is a hard place. What you're saying 5 out of 7 games? Geordies screaming is not intimidating.
Of course it is.
5 out of 7 games in there. That was when we were. That's when we were top of the top 4 or 5.
Stats are stats, and it's all about confidence. All the fans would have been going there thinking, "Oh, we haven't done very well against these, apart from the last 2 games."
Well, yeah, but the ones we did win. The ones we did win was when we were top 4, top 5, the best teams, one of the best teams in the league. Like
they're not what Newcastle.
No, I'm saying when we beat them 5 or where we beat them 5 out of 7 times. Is when we were a better team in the league. What we're saying is there was many issues to why our defense was so awful yesterday. Again, majority of the time it was the midfield. We had 1 tackle out of the 2 of them. You had a goalkeeper who got replaced. Yes, I'm not pointing down to Ward, but when you lose a player like Mads, who has probably been our player of the season so far, that hurts as well. You can't, like, for me, I'm writing off this Newcastle game because, yes, it was embarrassing, but going into this Wolves game now, you can't drop players for the performance. You've got to go there and think these players have done well, other than yesterday. You
Also,
can't.
let's be fair. We've got Wolves next Sunday, 2 o'clock. Everybody's saying it's a massive game, which I agree. Let's not forget they got the stuffing knocked out of them last yesterday. Was it the 94th,
94th
95th
minute,
minute?
yeah.
Ipswich get a winner. Their confidence is probably lower than what our confidence is. When was the last time Wolves actually got a win or a draw or
Did
anything?
you see the Wolves players fighting with the Ipswich staff after the game?
Yeah,
They've got a few players. They've got a few players suspended now because of that. So
I'm just bringing this up. Ross. Hi, Ross. How you going, pal? I know you were there dressed as Stone Cold Steve Austin. Must have been bloody cold yesterday. It was something going up yesterday. The wage stealer in Danny Ward strikes again.
it wasn't down to him, but
it wasn't down to him.
Ross. It's not just you. I'm having a pop at.
I think people are scapegoating the performance yesterday
people
to
are trying
him.
to make a scapegoat of Danny Ward, and this
I'm
is
not making a scapegoat
No,
out
not
of
you,
Ward.
not you, Nick. But this, look at this, right? This is the second goal. The first one, what was it, Reedy? You got your cup of tea already then? Look at the space that defender had at the back post. Was it that Lewis Hall?
That second goal for me was the worst one out of the lot because of how easy and how open that game was.
You could see, as soon as you could see the defender peeling off or the player peeling off, and then this poach, you can't quite see it because I can't blow it up enough. There was 4 Newcastle players in the 6-yard box that had raced the bollocks off to get there and chased back to get there.
Yeah, that goal there, Danny Walker's not doing anything about it. It's about tracking that.
I'm gonna have to go, lads.
All right then, Nick. We'll see you later.
All right, see you later, bud.
And then the third goal, you've got it again. Everyone's blaming Danny Ward. Perfect position there, near post. You don't want to beat him at the near post. The ball comes across. Connor Cody doesn't deal with it. There's 2 deflections from that corner. There's 2 deflections. And it goes straight into Isaac's place. Sorry, that's the other goal. You can't blame Danny Ward for them goals. You really can't. He's in perfect position for the near post. If he'd been beaten at the near post, then yeah, I would have been moaning at him, saying, oh, he's been beaten at the near post. But he's looking for that option. People are blaming him. You can't blame Ward.
I think the only one I could say he could have done better on is the 4th one. But that's just my opinion. Many people, yeah, like you said, it's low and hard. I get it. But we know what Mads Hermsen can do. And it might have gone through his legs. I don't know. But we know how well he can save some absolute spectacular shots. And that, for me, most keepers in the Premier League should be saving, if I'm totally honest.
Two decent saves yesterday that people seem to have.
I get you. Yeah,
people seem to.
No, I'm not saying that because that 4th that was the reason we lost it. Of course not. We conceded 2 set pieces in that to make it 2-0. That was game because them 2 set pieces for me were just poorly defended massively. That first goal they did was absolutely on point for a training pitch setup. Worked perfectly, went round us and perfectly slotted it in. That alone, and then the second one, both of them cost us the game because that was already 2-0 down and then they went for a rampage. So
we have got a set piece play. That Aaron Hughes, I think the set piece bloke, coach, whatever you want to call him. And the first 2 free kicks, there was one that from Christensen came in. It didn't even beat the first man, or it didn't even get. It was
no. I agree.
And then the first corner didn't beat the first man. How can people? I've been going on about this all the time. How can players getting paid, I don't know, 60 and 150 grand a week, not beat the first man from a corner? Where you see a set play from Newcastle that works an absolute treat like that.
Mm-hmm. It's because don't get me wrong. I feel like we do sometimes try and do a training pitch set piece. I do, but we don't do it. We don't like put it out right. We don't. But I will say that against Wolves, and I saw a start match today last night. They said that they've conceded 20 goals from set pieces this season, double what I think Southampton have. So
I
they've
think
got
we've
the
only
most
conceded about
conceded.
4 up until
No,
yesterday.
we've conceded 5. I think 5 or
Is that
6 now.
including yesterday?
I don't know because that was before we saw the match today on for our
Right.
game.
I
But
know we haven't
they're
conceded
saying
many.
Wolves have conceded 20. That's double the second team's worst. So if you want to get to Wolves next week and try and score against them, you sort them set pieces out because they are they cannot defend them to save their lives.
Steve, I don't rate Ward at all, but he wasn't to blame yesterday. That's all I'm saying. He wasn't to blame. You've got to remember, Newcastle was so dominant in the first half. They could have been 3 or 4-0 up quite easily in that first half.
I think the difference is, and if Mads is not fit for Wolves, we could lose it. And I think that's a big point. I think honestly, Ward being in over Mads Hermansen, quality wise, we could lose this game against Wolves. And that I know it's not down to one player, but
see, everyone's looking. See, even you're now making Ward a scapegoat for next week if we lose.
no, I'm not. I'm just saying there's a chance we will lose. If we have Mads Hermansen in goal, there's every chance we should go and beat them.
I'll hold my hand up. I don't like Danny Ward being in goal. I totally agree with that. But why, with 7 days to go, are we saying, especially you, really? Oh, if Ward's in goal, we'll probably lose because of the set plays.
No, I'm saying there's a chance we'll lose.
There's a chance we'll lose.
I'm saying that with Mads Hermansen. Oh no, I'm not saying that. Mads Hermansen might be in goal. I'm just saying that there's way less confidence probably in the back line and even in maybe Ward himself that will think we've got to win this game and the pressure is massively on me to not let these goals in. And I don't want to. I don't want to put the blame on Ward. I'm just saying that's the level of difference between, like Lee says, that the massive difference between Ward and Mads for me is light and day to being staying up in the Premier League to losing the Premier League. We had Danny Ward, and again, I'm not trying to slate on him. We had Danny Ward in the season we went down, and that was one of the biggest reasons, and we all said it, why we went down, because we hadn't got a Premier League level keeper. Whereas Mads Hermansen has clearly keeping us up.
There's 11 players in a team, not one.
I get it. But from yesterday's performance, are you telling me when we were 1-0 down at half time, before you saw Ward, do you think we would have gone, oh, we're going to get battered here? The moment Ward came on, there was everyone on the ground was saying, oh, this could be a battering now.
Because of everyone's perception of Danny Ward.
Yeah.
What about everyone's perceptions of Soumare? What about everyone's perceptions of Soumare?
No, I get it.
Now I get it. He's still injured. Well, he's not injured. He's back in training, isn't he? But I'm not sure how long he's going to be.
I totally get it. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it was his fault. I'm just saying that
the perception of Danny Ward and the perception of Soumare are both exactly the same.
No, I get it.
Who would have thought 3 weeks ago Soumare would have been the missing link in that team? Who would have thought Wilf Ndidi would have been the missing link of that team that made a huge difference? 3 weeks ago, everyone was saying, oh no, Soumare should be nowhere near this team. Now he's had 1.5 man of the match performances, in my mind, in the last.
But like, I get the perception of it, but like Lee said, and this is what from all we, it's only because of what we know. Lee here says, agree with Reedy, as soon as we saw Ward get on the pitch, we knew it was game over. That's because we know how bad he can be. And I'm not saying it was his fault for the goals. What I'm saying is, I don't know. Mads Hermansen could have saved 2 or 3 of them on his day because we know how good he is. He probably wouldn't, but the level of difference is light and day.
Because he would have saved all 3 shots. You've just said he could have saved 2 or 3 of them.
No, because we know.
You just said,
I know.
Said Mads Hermansen could have saved all them goals. That's what you just said.
I know. What I'm saying is, if you think about it, if the defenders know they had Mads Hermansen in goal, they know to maybe position differently. They know that Mads Hermansen saves unsavable shots. I'm not saying he would have saved them, but it's difficult to. I don't know. It all changes when Ward comes on, and
you're trying to make.
I'm not. I'm just saying the defense. If you think about it, your defense was solid, and you've got a guy behind him with Mads Hermansen, you know, well, if you make a mistake, it's going to go to him.
So
If
if that's the case, then,
you've got two players in front of him, in Ndidi and Sumare, who basically stop the ball from getting through. What I'm saying is, these issues. No, I get that as well. What I'm saying is, I don't think we would have lost this game 4-0 if Mads Hermansen was still in goal, because we only conceded one in that first half.
but that first defence, there was a free kick just on the right-hand corner of the box, about 10 yards out, I think it was. I can't remember. Let's get that photo up. Let's show. I'm trying to prove a point to you here. Here's the first photo. So it was 10, 15 yards out of the penalty box. So 30 odd yards. Look at the defence Look at the defence. If they're worried, right? If their defence is the confidence in Ward, why aren't they tracking back? Why aren't they making runs with a free kick? And in here, why is there? If their confidence isn't that good on Danny Ward, why aren't they busting the gut to get back? So
it's a good set piece. That ball there that you saw going in was a brilliant set piece ball. They knew to put that guy on that left hand side. Is it Lewis Hall?
Okay then. So you're saying confidence wise about the defense, about Ward.
I'm not saying Ward's at fault for that one.
Yeah, but you're saying about the defenders not having confidence in their players, in their keeper. Look how many. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Newcastle players already ahead of the Leicester defenders. So if they hadn't got confidence in the keeper, why aren't they busting a gut? Why are we constantly blaming Ward? I'm
not. I'm just saying the level of the quality level is very much different. I'm not saying that he should have saved that one. I'm just saying,
like Neil said,
when we play against Wolves,
from what we've seen too much about Danny Ward. Neil, hello again. I saw you last week. Cheers, mate. Take the focus away from the goalkeeping. That has not been the problem. It's the work rate, marking, defending in the right shape as we are way too narrow. Gallowgate shots. We also Gallowgate shots. I've sent you a link in your Twitter feed, in your messages. Click on, please. Come and join the conversation. I want to hear your view about Leicester's performance. Please click on it. It'll be 5 minutes. Check your Twitter account. It'd be great to see you again, if you can. I'd love to get your opinion on yesterday's game. It'd be absolutely brilliant.
It does say there, though, like they said, we've been working on set pieces routines, so it's hard to criticise your defending against them. We were trying new things. Exactly. The 2 set pieces for me at the start were brilliantly set up set pieces. That the first goal was perfect. How that ball went straight to Murphy to have that clear curl into the box, into the goal was mental. The second one was just very good. Another very good set piece, which we just didn't read. We can't defend. We can't criticise the defending because of how well the set pieces were. Yes, you should be marking them better, but that's one big way why you score goals more, because you have set pieces. You need little bits.
I'm not going to say anymore. That was singing his name against Warsaw, and now all of a sudden, you weren't there that time, were you? But anyway, come on, Gallowgate shots. Please join. I want to hear your view on yesterday's game, if at all possible. It'd be great if it was, if you could join. We signed Benson. We signed a so-called quality set piece coach in the summer. Why can't he come up with routines? I've seen nothing from him so far, which is true. But we seem to lack that going forward. Let's forget about the goalkeeping now. We've talked 20 odd minutes about goalkeeping. We haven't talked about the rest of the game, where the game is won and lost up top. I was a bit surprised he played Bowenauty. Yes, I thought Mavadiva would get the nod. But I thought he might play Bowenauty, El Canous, and Vardy up top. That's how I thought he might work it. But are we playing that at home and a different formation away?
We don't know, do we? Because we've not played away yet until yesterday.
Played away today. That's
what
I'm saying.
The last 2 home games we know what we were going to be playing like, but away maybe it was different. Maybe yesterday for me in that first half there was no creativity. It was just putting the ball up every time we had the ball in possession. we tried to just thought we need to get up front. There's no creativity. There was no patience. There's no clear like confidence or composure on the ball. We just looked like we wanted to boot the ball up, and then it just wasn't great. But like I said, I am not putting yesterday's game down to us staying up or not. Yes,
No.
it was poor. Yes, it was poor. Yes, we've already got 4 points out of the last 3 games. I'd take that. We now need to go into this Wolves game, hopefully with Sumaro. Well, Sumaro should be back after his suspension, and Didi probably won't be back, but hopefully Winks is back. And you can't judge players' performances and think you need dropping when you've got a game like this and you need to go back to how you were at home the last 2 games. You need to not be like, oh, Cody wasn't good enough, you're out. Like they've been good enough the last 2 games, keep them in. Like yesterday was just a bit of a shell shock of a result for me. And you just got to go into the Wolves game now thinking, forget the Newcastle game. It wasn't going to be pretty because we have lost on midfield. Now let's go back and get another win on the board.
See, again, we've been making these mistakes all season, not just with Rudo and Nistelrooy, not just with Cooper. Even last year, even with Enzo, the god of Enzo that everyone loves, that walked out on us. We were making sloppy mistakes even last year, even under Cooper. We don't do the basics well enough. We don't pass the 10-yard ball. We don't. To be honest, the style of football is very similar to the way Steve Cooper was playing, but a bit more faster. That's all I can say.
I'd say there is a lot of difference tactically wise, but yesterday I didn't see it as much. The 2 home games, the last 2 home games, I think there was a big difference.
Here's one for you. I forgot all about this. Even hardened Newcastle fans Gallagate shots. Why did Bruno get booked for simulation? I thought that was a 100% yellow card. I forgot all about that.
Because he's a cheating scumbag. He literally dived. He literally dived in front of Vestergaard's face. I don't know if Vestergaard did insinuate a yellow card.
But he pointed at him and gave him a good wallet.
From the gods up at the top of the ground, we thought he did get booked, but he didn't. And then he made that challenge on who was he made the challenge on? I can't remember now. But I think it's Mavadidi. No, it's Mavadidi. Yeah. But that alone was a yellow card, and he should have been red carded. And then he went on and scored. So for me, very different story. Yes, he probably would still lost the game, but things like that are big reasons why you lose a game or maybe even a draw a game. So for me,
you know what? I forgot all about that until Gallagate Shots said that. I forgot about that. Yes, Bruno, please tell me.
I was only one. I think that was at 1-0, wasn't it? Because he scored the second goal. Yeah. So
yeah, he scored the second goal.
Yeah. If that went down to 10 men, there was every chance we got back in that game because we probably had more confidence.
Well, yeah, it would have given the defence a bit more confidence instead of confidence.
Yeah. So
of Danny Ward, anyway. But I always thought it's simulation. It was a yellow card, and that was simulating because he was going down before he actually started, didn't he? Before Vestergaard got anywhere near.
Well, then again, Patrick Tucker says here, if he was ducked for the diving, he probably wouldn't have made that second challenge. Maybe not. We can't know that, but he probably did it knowing that he didn't get booked for that first one.
Gallagate Shots have said, but then again, the second challenge doesn't happen if he's booked for the first one. Swings and roundabouts. Yeah, swings and roundabouts, but you just don't know, do you? Sometimes you just got a little bit hot-headed here to probably being a bit cheesed off about not getting the penalty and have a go at. Reed, what's that? Reed should have been there when it wasn't. I'm not sure what that one means, Peter. Sorry, I'm not sure what that means, actually. But yeah, it's like you say, it is swings and roundabouts. It could have changed the game. Things happen this year with the referees this year. They don't give things. They're not consistent enough for the referees, but I'm sure simulation is 100% yellow card.
Yeah, it is, yeah. I think.
Go on.
I think before we finish and we read the last few comments out, we just need to forget yesterday. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't great. We were injury ridden with a lot of major players that we've been playing with. So going into this Wolves game now, you just got to have the confidence that we can get a result. Hopefully, Mads is back in goal. We don't know what his issue is. I think it's a groin issue that.
He said it was a groin issue. He said Rude said he felt it tightening up.
But is that a bad thing? I think that's just a bit of a. You need to just loosen it up and hopefully you'll be okay. Because I think, if I'm totally honest, and this again, I'm only saying on quality wise.
Don't say it, Reedy.
A half injured Mads Hermansen is better than a Danny Warding goal. Mads Hermansen with one leg is better than Mads Hermansen.
Simulation is a yellow, but as I said, I think he blown for handball as Bruno grabbed the ball. He went down. But then surely, Scott, the handball is a yellow card as well. A deliberate handball. If you handball it in the penalty box, that's a penalty. The referee gives it that. But surely, I know what you're saying, Scott, but if you handballed it, it'd be yellow. If you're simulating, it's a yellow, surely. Yes, Reedy?
Well, yeah, either way, it's a yellow card.
See, well, it's the Danny Ward show this morning. I'm glad I didn't ask him to come on. Van Nistelrooy, Alan, morning, Alan. How are you? How was Reedy on the bus home? Was he asleep all the time on the bus? Van Nistelrooy now knows just how big a job he has taken on. He does, doesn't he?
I'll be totally honest, Alan. I don't think looking at yesterday's game is a reason why it's a big job. It was always going to be a big job. But they got 4 points out of the last 3 games. You can't expect to go to Newcastle and get a result. Like, yes, it was poor, and it was more than what we was worse than what we expected. But for me, it's not going to be even harder now because we lost 4-0 to a good Wolves side, a good Newcastle side who, on paper, deserved it and showed they deserved it because they had better players, and we looked poor. So.
Peter says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. All the best. Been watching Leicester since 1966, and this team is as bad. Sorry, but the true miracle if we stop up.
Stay up, yeah.
I think so. Like Gallagher Shots have just said, we have to put yesterday behind us. We haven't been great this season. You allowed us to dominate midfield, and that never great when you lose that battle. No, I mean, Newcastle have been so inconsistent, haven't they? They won 5, drew 5, lost 5, which is a bit inconsistent, isn't it? Or is that consistent? That's consistency completely, isn't it? Yeah, cheers, lads. Thank you. But yeah, Newcastle haven't been that bad, but I think we made them look pretty good yesterday with that midfield and our absolutely terrible defending, didn't we?
Yeah, like I said, I said at the start of the show, the reason we lost that game was the they bypassed our midfield. Our midfield wasn't there. Like I say, Chowdhury lost the ball. We gave the ball away too many times. Skip basically didn't even put a challenge in. Like I said, they both been together, had 1 tackle. It's not good enough. And Wilfred Ndidi and Sumari alone puts in probably 10 times that many tackles in one game alone. So it just shows you've got to move on. And like John says, forget yesterday, move on to Wolves, and hopefully Mads Hermansen is back in goal.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope it was just a bit of a tweak and he didn't really fit and it's not that bad. If he goes in for an operation and
Vardy did not get booked, so he's free for tomorrow, next week. If he got booked yesterday, he would have not played against.
But now if he gets booked against Wolves, he'll miss the Liverpool game.
Is that much of an issue?
We need to. I think
we need Vardy more against Wolves than we do against Liverpool.
I think it's 19 games, isn't it? Or is it 18 games or 19 games when it goes to 10 bookings?
I can't
remember. There is it's like 10 games, then 19 games. There is a place where or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's like 10 bookings.
That's the big bonus from what Mark says as well. On a plus side, a lot of Wolves players will be out suspended next week because of what happened yesterday. There was maybe only a few, but some of their big players who they have been playing will be suspended. So there's even more chance we can beat Wolves next week.
Yeah, we'll have to, like Craig Entry says, that could be a long show. Could need to change the complete squad, I think. But I think we ought to just go for it. Start the financial fair play and go shit or bust.
Well, you got to, because if you go down, you're screwed anyway. So you got to go for it and take the fines.
Phil's, we're not going to talk much about Wolves because Phil will do a bit of that tomorrow night. You Thursday night show with Jono and Simon Mack, and your tactics show on the Friday or Thursday or Friday, whichever day it comes out. And then me on Sunday morning, looking forward to the Wolves game. I'm not there this week, really, so you don't have to join me early doors. So you're all right this week.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's been a privilege. Reedy, are you at work this week?
Yeah, last week before Christmas, yeah.
Oh, so we'll see the Christmas jumper party next week, will we?
No, you had that last week, mate.
Oh, was that it? Was that it already?
It's gone,
right.
Yeah.
All right then, Reedy. Cheers for joining me, pal. We shall see you later. See you next week. If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window, pal. Cheers, mate. Or what?
Or through Newcastle's goal.
Oh, you can't see that far. Did you have your binoculars on?
No. I just looked and thought, oh, it's looked like I'm playing FIFA here.
All right, then, pal. We'll speak to you later, mate. Be good.
All right, see you.
Cheers once again. It's been absolutely privileged and much appreciated. All you lot, lads and lasses, turning up for me on a Sunday morning on the original Sunday morning football show. It's been much appreciated. So it's ciao, adios, goodbye, tots ven. I think I've got that right. Come on, Leicester. We shall see you next week. There goes the final whistle. Come on, you foxes.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.